Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, The Light Seer's Tarot by Chris Ann, Supportive Oracle Cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle Cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Raish Baskin. And I've been saying that, like, certain authors, if you look up their names, you might find websites they're connected to. I think it's Stacey DeMarco is the one I looked up. And there was like a whole plethora of things. Not only that she did, but like she's connected to this big website. So in case you're a card buff and you like cards, you might want to try that. Stacey DeMarco is the one I'm thinking of, but search somebody's name up, see what you find. Just in case you're looking for new cards or you know somebody who likes cards. Anyway, what do we got here for Aries? That's peculiar. Oh, okay. So, okay. To start from the beginning, I'm like looking over real quick, and I'm like, what is going on here? Starting off, you got perception, completion, and the Knight of Pentacles. This is Sagittarius started out with completion as well. I don't know if it's going to go the same way for you, though. Because I'm getting like the Knight of Pentacles with completion, like you're starting to head towards completion. But with perception, it's making me question, is it really going towards completion? Are we just thinking that way? Because I feel like you're kind of heading towards something like... This is weird for Aries. Kind of like, I think I'm done, so I'm just going to start slowly walking towards the door. I'm just going to meander that way, and I get there when I get there. This is not usual for Aries. If you're ready to go, you usually just leave. You don't usually hang out like this. But it may be one of those things like, okay, I can understand this. With like a job, maybe? Or something where you have a lot of ties with somebody, and you're kind of like, well, that would make sense for Aries. You know you're kind of ready to go. But for whatever reason, you're like, all right, I am going to go, but I'm not going to let this situation double back on me or cause problems for me. So I'm starting to take the steps to untie these connections to this person. Or, for example, if you've decided I'm done with this job, you're like, I'm going to find another one, and I'm going to make sure that this works out to my advantage so I can handle this until I go. You're making the necessary steps, because Aries people are smart. I don't understand why people don't realize that sometimes. They don't just jump because they can jump. And I'm saying this because my moon is Aries, probably. Like, there's calculated moves, especially when you realize other people are going to use your initiative to move forward against you. You'll move forward in a way that serves you, and you're not going to give somebody else the advantage just because they're who they are. They're who they are. And we're just going to go with that. So you're starting to move towards completion. But perception is it's really making me wonder. It's kind of like you're taking the steps to start something, to get your ducks in a row, so that way when you have everything aligned like you need to, you can move forward as necessary, and it'll work out fairly for you, as it should. And that Knight of Pentacles is like you're on your way, but you're like, it's going to work out. It needs to work out correctly. You know, I'm not going to just move forward and give people the advantage against me. I'm not going to do that. In the environment, you got Faith with the Queen of Cups. Somebody very much likes working with you or likes being around you. Whoever you're thinking you might be done with, whether it be a job or a person, they're not paying attention to what you're doing. They seem to know that you're not quite happy, but they also seem to think it'll be fine. They do seem to really enjoy you being around. This is somebody who very much likes you. Your energy just seems to be like, at this point anyway, you're like, I think I'm kind of done. And you're moving things around as necessary. But they seem to be not seeing it, and they're just kind of rolling with it. Now, the next spot I see coming in, you got Joy with the Five of Swords. And what I'm getting with the two of these is like, the next moment you're really having with this situation or person is a very good one. But at the same time, it's like, does it really matter? Whatever the next situation is, it is very good, but it's kind of like, does it even matter? Do I even, like, it's not changing your opinion about where you're going next. This other person or situation, whether it be a job or a person, they don't realize that you're kind of putting your ducks in a row so you can get on and move on with your life. They don't realize this. And there's a very good moment between you and whoever, whatever this is. But with the Five of Swords there, it's kind of like, does it even matter? Even though it's a really good moment, you're kind of like, yeah, but it's a moment. Yet this moment is really, it just seems to last. This moment seems to last. And what it then starts to translate into, because it seems to hang around, it's reminding you of all the good things about this situation and or person. And that's kind of like, then you're questioning, do I really want to release this? I know it says victim there, I get that. But what I'm really getting from this card here, I can't change my mind once I cross a certain line, there's no going back. It's kind of like if you have a job and once you let it out the bag that you're looking for another one, you know that's going to change how people treat you. It's kind of like giving your 2-week notice. It's very rare for somebody to pull that back. And it's very rare. Sometimes you can put in a 2 weeks notice and you want to like rescind that, and they're like, no, you're going to go. Because they're maybe offended or they've decided to take steps to replace you automatically. Whatever. But the victim, I know it says victim, but I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling like I know once I cross a certain line, I can't go backwards. And the release is like, if I release it, once I release it, it's kind of like once I let that balloon go, it gets 2 feet from me, and it's done. It's gone. It's going. That's it. That's it. Because it's going to keep on going up, and it's gone. And that's the release. That's the release with this victim card. And I hate that word. I hate that that's the word there, but I'm feeling that's why. Because once you let it go, chips fall where they may. It's out of my control. And you're hitting this next spot, and you're trying to make up your mind. Because it's kind of like, I've purposely been waiting because I wanted to do this the right way, and I didn't want this to double back in a negative way to me. But now that I've been waiting, I'm starting to question, am I going to do this or not? Because now I'm starting to see all the good reasons why I should stay. Now I'm starting to think maybe I will stay. I think that's one of the reasons, like, when Aries makes up their mind, they usually go and they just get it done, and they just do it. Because it's like, you make the decision in the moment, and you just do it. If it sits and smolders for a while, the fire usually goes out. I don't know what to say about that. It's kind of like now or no. It's like now or never. It's just, it happens now or it doesn't. I just feel like Aries is that sign that, like, if it's going to flounder in the middle, it fails. It's either we jump into the deep end, and that's what it is. Or we just don't get in at all. If we fart around on the edge, it's just kind of like, it just screws up the whole situation. It's kind of like I should have just left and gone to do something else. I should have just said no and went somewhere else and did something else. Or jumped right in and got in the water. By walking back along the edge, I never seem to get into the water, but I never go do something else either. I just seem to be floundering and doing nothing. It's all or nothing. I feel like Aries, let me know in the comments, I feel like Aries is that sign. It's either we're all in or we're not. All yes or no. We don't do the gray. I'm saying that because my moon is Aries, but whatever. In the environment, you have isolation with guilt. This person seems to be doing other things. They don't seem to be overly centered on you. They're doing other things, which is what I'm really getting with the guilt. And the isolation is like you're not dealing with them very often. Whoever or whatever, the energy is pulled back a lot. I feel like this is very important for the situation because maybe that's why you're enjoying it more at the moment. Whether it be a job or a person, they're not all up in your business as maybe they have been for a while. They're distracted with other things They're leaving you alone, which Aries likes that, I think. I think you like that. Don't be up all in my business all the time. It's really annoying. Get out of my face. And they are out of your face. So we got guilt with isolation. They're kind of backing off and just letting you breathe for a while. But they're also got the guilt with it. Like, they don't seem to think that's the right way to do things. This may be a temporary moment of joy. I would highly recommend at this point where you're kind of like, maybe I will stay. Maybe this is a place I do want to stay. I think you should evaluate how the situation normally goes, what's currently making it good for you, and how long you think that's going to last. Because I'm getting that guilt makes me uncomfortable. Kind of like, they're leaving you alone. You like that, but I don't think that's going to be permanent. Discovery with quest seems to be happening between the two of you. Be it you and a person or you and a situation. As usual. This may, like, in this moment, if it's going much more likable, if you like it a lot better, if you're enjoying them staying out of your hair, this might be a time where you might want to go forward and explain that, like, everything is going well and that you like how it's going currently. That they're busy doing other things and you very much support that and like that. It makes things very compatible between the two of you, be it you and another person, you were in the situation, whatever it is. You might want to go forward and explain that. If you really are considering staying in this situation, if you put out that information, you have a chance of keeping it. A chance. A chance. I don't know what else to say with that other than a chance. Because I feel like whatever you're dealing with is very busy. And if you're one less thing that they have to worry about, and if they can trust you, whatever that means, I feel like they're going to realize they got the Enlightenment and the Queen of Swords here, kind of like, okay, wait a minute. The Aries has come forward to me and told me what's going on currently where I'm less involved with the Aries. They like that. And they'd like to see that continue, that it's more compatible, more comfortable for them, and they feel like they get more done. It's almost like it'll click in their brain, like, wait a minute, what does that mean? Kind of like if they want to keep you around, they need to kind of work with you a little bit more and do it the way you want it to be done. They need to stay out of your hair a little bit more. Enlightenment is here with them. I'm a little like, I'm not sure where this is going. We got a couple more cards. Okay, I'm not really comfortable with that, totally. Because I see a renewal with you and the Four of Pentacles. I almost see, like, as long as it stays in this comfortable joy energy where they're more distracted and they're leaving you alone more, this could last a bit longer. Renewal with the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is holding on to what you already have. Renewal is renewing your connection with it, renewing your interest in it, liking it better. I'm just not confident that it's going to stay that way. Because the last two cards you have here are the Magician and the Self-Worth. And it's right between you and whoever you're dealing with. Insecurities are going to arise one way or another somewhere. And I'm getting some energy coming towards you because they want to get more involved. They want to know more about what you're doing. I feel like you can handle that, but you got to be aware of it. Sooner or later, I think this energy is going to come towards you. It'll leave you alone for a while, but I almost feel like it's almost kind of like, what are you doing over there, Aries? Like, it gets almost suspicious. There might be a little bit of a paranoid energy there. What I would do, if you want to keep this, maybe just keep a small, short log of what you've been doing. Like, some of you might want to do a weekly one, maybe like a daily one, if you can do that. Whatever works for you, I know. Just so that this person can get their answers. Like, when they're like, well, what did you do last Tuesday? Well, I'm like, well, let me look at my log. I did this, that, and that. Just a short little list. Maybe even the beginning of... this might be a thing where in the beginning of your day, maybe you start little lists of, like, things you plan to do, and you just, like, file that to the side. and then you can just talk to it whether you did it or not. That's what you were setting up, and that's why this went to the next day, because I didn't get to do it, so I went to the next day. I just feel like you want to like log things very minimally. If you can do that, I don't know how you're going to do it. Like, I don't know if you want to like a little notebook you're going to do this with, or if you just want to send yourself a little personal email and put it in a special folder in your email. This is what I'm going to do today, and just list off 3 or 5 things. Put it in that email folder, and just keep that way you can track where you've been and what you've been doing. Because I feel like at some point it's going to be like a little bit of an issue. And if you have all this already to back you up, you just seem to fly right past it without... It's like, well, here, I'll send you the emails. You could see what I did. So they can actually see what you're doing. Especially if this is job related. Because I feel like that might calm this energy because they want to know what you're doing. Keep them still in the know what you're doing without having them right in your hair the whole time. You know what I mean? You got to figure out a way to work with it. I feel like the end energy for this energy will come back. There will be a little bit of paranoia. Maybe you know better ways of handling this. Maybe you've dealt with this differently in a different way. So if the list thing doesn't work for you, then do something different. They're saying just plan for it. Because you seem to be able to extend this out, but sooner or later this person will get paranoid again. I'm getting the word paranoid, so whatever. And you're going to have to deal with it one way or another. But if you can preemptively get ready for it and already have something set to the side, like, oh, here they come, here you go. Oh yeah, I knew you were going to be coming, here you go. I mean, you don't want to pass it off that way, because then they'll be like, oh, you knew I was coming. Then what are you actually doing? Are you just telling me this so you want me to believe you're doing this, or are you actually doing this? I'm getting a little bit of paranoid energy here. I guess keep getting it. As long as you see it and you know how to handle it, you could avert a bump. That's all. Avert a point of contention. Alright, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.